Waverley Park Estate. We are also joined by Shaun Lim and Peter Cheah as we welcome you back to 32 Ellis Park Avenue. A stunning home, certainly built with ease of living and comfort in mind, and you are positioned in this ultra-convenient residential pocket of Mulgrave. To our vendors, well, firstly, thank you for entrusting Ray White Glen Waverley with the sale of your property, and to all bidders here today, best of luck, your judgment is commended. Today's auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and conditions made available prior to today's proceedings. As the auctioneer will indicate, bidders on request you have the right to bid on behalf of our vendor, aptly announced as vendor bids. These rules prohibit false bids, prohibit major disruptions from bidders, attempting to prevent others from bidding, and provide fines for such conduct. And then finally, once the paperwork hits my hand, we will be taking no late bids. In essence, your auction rules. Simple particulars we operate under. 10%, well, that is your deposit, and 90 through to 120 days as your settlement date, unless organised with the team at Ray White Glen Waverley prior to today's proceedings. So again, the auction rules, particulars, clear, concise, and just put in place to encourage all bidding. Well, Rick, before we get underway, I always make a few brief comments on the property up for auction. And as we stand here today, this is a property, lifestyle and location set to serve all of those emotional preferences. Evident though, as soon as you arrive, endless features across our two levels. At the core of the home, 3 bedrooms plus the study nook, 2 bathrooms plus the powder room. Downstairs, completely dedicated to the open plan and stylish kitchen, living and dining space as well. Stylish, low maintenance and beautifully infused together with the quality fixtures and fittings right throughout. Add into the mix though, we have the north-facing entertainers courtyard, the retractable awning, presenting as the ultimate in low-maintenance living. And then finally, our location. Well, this location requires no further endorsement. You are positioned firstly in the Waverley Park Estate, synonymous for its quality homes and family-friendly environment, yet we're only moments to the stadium, parkways, Waverley Garden shopping centres, cafes. All those lifestyle-enhancing ingredients are just moments from your front door. As stated earlier, 10% your deposit, 90 through to 120 days as your settlement date. On behalf of Rick Cheah, the entire team, Ray White Glen Waverley, we submit it to you now. Hop, and get off and get us underway. There has been a huge amount of talk about the likely selling range and absolute abundance of inspections right throughout the course of the campaign. Given that interest today, should not see the need to start by way of a vendor bid, providing you ample opportunity to control the flow of proceedings. Where do we go? So make it very clear, in the absence of that starting bid, always confident and comfortable to start by way of a vendor bid. Hold there momentarily, guys. You can come rampaging in with your highest and best, or start us off at more of a conservative level. The choice is yours. As with that silence, I can also make a suggestion. Once again, I'll hold it out there for a few moments in time. Then make a suggestion around that starting range. There we go. Let's make that suggestion. A starting bid, somewhere in the vicinity of that $680,000 range. I'll tell you what, at that level, should be an absolute hype of activity. Guys, at this stage, it's only a suggestion, but in the absence of a starting bid or offer, I'll move there quickly and with absolute confidence by way of a vendor bid. One last time, where do we go? Hop, and get it off to get us underway. Guys, without hesitation nor delay, we commence proceedings on a vendor bid at $680,000. It is light, low, should only welcome all parties to proceedings. We'll Civic and Nudge North will take a $20,000 bid and stride at $680,000. I tell you what, the Waverley Park Estate, this offering, price point and location, you truly will not find another one like it. $680 the offer, the sequential stride and straight to 7. Alternatively, guys, we pass the property. Interest outside the auction rules, talking well in excess of this, and certainly hoping the property does pass in. 680 holds for the 1 of 7. We call it through its head. It's time at 680 at 680,000. Once now, buys, do we pass the property in? No better from here at 680,000. 7 and new interest services. The left hand side, and welcome in at 7 the offer at 700,000. At 700,000, new interest joins for your slice of the Waverley Park Estate. 7 the bid, 720. The next sequential bid move and thought that was a bit there short. At 700,000. At 700,000, it holds new interest services. The left hand side at 700. Once now, we're not finished inside. It holds in your favour at 700,000. 10
710,000.
710, short to stripe, or draw the line there, nothing to 710, but don't let's us and you today. 710 now the offer, holding directly front and centre at 710 the bid, 20, or do we keep 20s a stride, straight to 30? The choice is yours. 710 directly front and centre with new interest in at 710,000. For your slice of Mulgrave, truly nothing left to do. Bid, secure, relax and enjoy at 710 the offer. First time now, bid, hold direct.
20.
20 on top or 720?
720.
720, can't blame me for asking. Welcome in at 720 at 720,000. At 720,000, 30, it now presents and move there with confidence. As stated, this price point, you'll not find another one like it at 720 the offer. At 720,000. Once again, 3 chances for further consideration. I'll tell you what, the more you start to think about it, and no matter which way you look at it, it certainly makes sense. In your favour at 720,000. Once now, we're not finishing in silent. The side rig at 720,000. Twice now buys. We pass the property and no benefit from here. 730 Watkin, 730,000. At 730,000, hold 740, quick bid without delay, knows the value at 740. At 740,000. Against you now, 740,000 is the offer, 7.5 is the next sequential bid, move and answer. Take 5. We're going to take a 5, I'll let you know as soon as you can break down the stride. Needs to be a 10 and 10 only to jump back in front and still presents as exceptional buying match. Still holds in your favour at 740,000 for the 1 of 10. We call it through at 740, at 740,000. Alternatively, do we pass the property in first? Exclusive right to negotiate would hold in your favour at 740,000. 750. Welcome back at 750 at 750,000 for the interest of transparency. 10 and 10 only will reclaim the lead. 760 and knows the value for your slice of Mulgrave at 760 the offer at 760,000. 760 the bid. The option now presents pair the sevens and jump back in front. Do it without hesitation. No delay. In your favour, left hand side at 760,000. Once now, put up finish and silence at 760,000. Twice now, it's that time at 760. 770, welcome in, new interest in. Did not see that coming. Times the run perfectly at 770,000. Now in your favour to the right at 770. New interest services, timing the run perfectly. 775, we'll chip away in the 5s at 775. 780, 780 without delay. 780 the offer at 780,000. At 780,000 holds in your favour. 780 the offer. We welcome the 5 earlier. We welcome back 785, 790. At 790 the call. At 790,000, we take 795 or the elusive 800. It certainly presents at 790. At 780, we're selling away. No better offer. We are on the market. We sell away. We welcome new owners. No further advance at 790 the offer. As heard on behalf of Cheah and the entire team at Glen, Waverley, we are on the market. We sell away. No better bid. We welcome new owners to the Waverley Park Estate. 790. It still holds for the 195 and 3 chances now. Haven't forgotten about our earlier entry either. Now's the chance to reclaim the lead at 790,000. Once now buys, we are selling away to the right hand side at 795. 795. 8. Welcome back. Raises the hand without delay and reclaims the 8 the offer. At 800,000, conversations continue. They intensify. We give it a time. Holds in your favour at 800,000. At 800,000 as we call it again, it holds the right hand side at 800. Once now at 800,000.
805.
805. New interest. Welcome in. Beside Shaun at 805. 810. No hesitation. Reclaims lead at 810. At 810,000. At 810,000. 2 parties in and new interest services at 810 the offer. At 810,000 still sits to the right hand side. At 810 the call. At 810,000. Once now. 15. New interest once again at 815. 20. 820. Back in front. Reclaims lead at 820,000. 825. 8 the corner. 830. Keeps the 5s astride and knows the value at 830. At 830,000. At 830,000. Bid hold beside Peter at 830 the bid. At 830,000. Once again, we provide 3 chances. 35. 3 in the race still. 835. Just getting a clear line of sight at 835,000. At 835,000, that conversation continues. We give it its time at 835. At 835,000. 840. 840 is the offer. At 840,000, back with the $5,000 bid and lunch for the keys at 840. At 840,000. At 840,000, remains, holds the lead to the right. At 840, the call. At 840,000, once now. At 840. Conversation continues at 840,000 for the interest of transparency. Bid holds to the right at 840,000 for the want of a $5,000 bid and lunch for the keys at 840, the call. At 840,000, twice now. We still await. We welcome new owners at 840, the offer. Conversation continues. Rick's just asked me to hold there for a few moments in time. Should you require the courtesy of time, I will always extend it back to all parties. Must work for our clients. Holds the bid and the lead at 840,000. That third and final call. It now presents it. 2.5, 842 and 5. 45, and welcome in. Matches on 2.5, we're back in front at 845. 47 and 5, the next sequential bid move and answer from here. We wait with anticipation. 845 is the lead at 845,000. Once now, we still away to the right hand side at 845,000. Twice now at 845. 845 is the offer. That conversation continues. Certainly happy to welcome the $2,500 stride. 847 and 5 would be the lead. A nod to jump back in front. 845 is the offer at 845,000 for the second, third, and final chance. Bid holds right hand side at 845. 47 and 5. 847 and 5. Conversation continues. I'll extend the courtesy of time back now. 847 and 5 beside Rick. At 847 and 500. At 847,500 the call. 847 and 5 is the 847 and 5, 848. $500 bid, but buyers, we draw the line there. Nothing less than a $500 bid will reclaim the lead. 848, the $500 stride reclaims the lead. At 848, as stated, buyers, nothing less than a $500 bid will reclaim the lead here today at 848. 848,000. Conversation continues. Where can you buy a slice of the Waverley Park estate for $500 only?
49.
49 picks up the pace with the $1,000 stride at 849. Match 1,000, reclaim the lead. 850 it now presents. 849 is the bid. At 849,000.
500.
849 and 5. Keeps it consistent with the $500 bid at 849 and 5. 849 and 500 again. We'll welcome a 500. Drawing the line there and nothing less to jump back in front at 849 and 5 beside Peter. Knows the value for your slice of the Waverley Park estate at 849 and 5. Once now, we still away to the right hand side at 849 and 500. Twice now, we welcome you owners at 849 and 5. Two calls through, one remain. Once we sell away, we cannot take a late bidder offer from here. 849 and 5, it still holds. Rick, need those instructions. That third and final call, it now presents. No pressure, everyone's watching. We wait with anticipation. 849 and 5 the bid for the second, third, and final chance. We're not finishing. 850. Start of the 850 is the bid. Happy to chip away the $500 strides. Sometimes a knockout bid will secure it across the line. 850 and 500. Welcome back. Keeps it consistent at 850 and 500. At 850,000, 500 the call. At 850 and 500 returns and knows the value. Holds bid to the right hand side at 850 and 500. At 850,000, 500 the bid. Once now, when I finish and silence, we are selling away at 850 and 500. Second time at 850 and 5. Holding out for a few moments, that conversation continues. 850, 500 to the right hand side, in front and knows the value. It's against all parties. Need to know, is there any further advance or we sell away at 850 and 5, at 850 and 500. Second, third, final chance. Uno finish and silent. 851 on the buzzer beater at 851. Now's the chance, pick up the pace. 851 is the call. Buys the knockout bid, mate, just get across the line. 851 is the offer, holds beside Rick at 851. 851 is the bid, allowing ample time to jump back in front at 851,000.
500.
851 and 5. 851 and 5 for returns at 851,500. Need to know, is there any further advance at 851 and 5? At 851,500 the call. First time now, winner finish and silence at 851 and 500. Second time in your favour, beside Peter at 851 and 5. In that final confirmation, 2 calls through with 1 remain. What do we say? One last lunch for the keys. It now presents, we still away no further advance at 851 and 5, at 851 and 500. Second, third, and final chance. Would I finish and silence at 851 and 5.
1 second.
Guys, as we do with all our options, I will reset the clock 1 time and 1 time only. If there's no further advance, we welcome your owners in your favour. For the one of the $500 bid only, we sell away. We've reset the clock. Now's the chance. Need those instructions.
1,000.
852 and 5. 852 and 5. 1,000 on top. 852 and 500. 852 and 5 is the bid. Picks up the pace at 852 and 5. Odds now 852 and 500. Conversations continue. 852 and 5. Need to know, is there any further advance? We sell away, extended the courtesy of time, but guys, please understand, given we've reset the clock, we'll not do it twice consecutively. On the third and final call, we will sell away. 852 and 5 is the offer.
853.
853. Keeps it consistent at 853. At 853,000. At 853,000, Rick, have we definitely got the best? 3 chances now. We sell away at 853. At 853,000. At 853,000, we sell away. No further advance. At 853. Once now. Appreciate the bidding. Looks like a temporary congratulations. In your favour, you hold the bid, the lead, the keys, no further advance. We are selling away at 853, at 853,000. Second time, would I finish and silence at 853. The buyers will meander around the crowd. Definitely got the best. Permission to sell. Appreciate the bidding. Rick, I will ask one last time. Any further advance? We still await to our previous entrance. Welcome new owners, no further advance. 853, sits in your favour. We still await less than 30 seconds. We welcome new owners at 853 the bid. For the second, third, and final chance. Would I finish and silence at 853 the call.